Shout out to y'all, man. And mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. This is the boy Swap Boss, man. Snapping off entertainment, the argument league, the debate league, and the Titans debate league, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. Let me get my shit straight. Share this link so nobody can hit it. Now that everybody acting like they wanted to come on. Let me see. Conversation is, why do we still tolerate Christians and Muslims, man? If we know the doctrine is antiquated, if we know motherfuckers ain't knowing shit for real, how long we gonna wait for Christ? Let me get this link. Let me get this link. Let me get this link. Alright, let me get this link. Alright. Let me get this link. And then dare niggas to hit that panel. And then let me actually go to the channel and pin it. Let me see. View on YouTube. Alright, yeah, there we go. So it's pinned, man. Yeah, okay. That I likes that. So let's just settle down. Yeah, man. It's like you can't, and I mean it's just a conversation. It ain't clearly just bash Christians and Muslims. Like sometimes it's just really to ask that question. Like come and defend yourself. Or something like that. But that's it, man. Shout out to Checkmate in the building, man. The God. But yeah, how do you still legitimize the mistranslations, the mistransliterations? How do you let people update the book? How does it start off on one leg and then end up hobbling all the way down here talking about some, oh yeah, this was redacted or this, that, and the other? There's been first of all, you got to trust the Romans. The Romans have all the literature. Romans have all the literature, uninterrupted possession of it. And for some reason, we got to believe them. And that's crazy. So you got people on earth talking about that, the direct descendants of Jesus, the unbroken lineage of popes all the way from the first pope and all of this other wild ass shit. And they don't got to like really stand on that shit. What make a person tolerate that shit? What make a person tolerate still being a Muslim?
I'll be back.
No, you not.
Yes, it's getting on my
No, you're not. Okay, no, baby, I'm serious. Set that down right there. Baby, what the fuck are you doing?
All right, I got off for you. It's not that deep.
You think you finna? No, I got it. I get it. I'll get it. I'm sorry, baby. I'll get it. But yeah. How do you justify still using the Abrahamic faith as like the moral guide or whatever? And how do you still have people saying, well, ain't no contradictions in the Bible? How do you still have people saying this is the true and living prophetic word? How? Like I understand it 2,000 years ago. I could get it 2,000 years ago, but it's 2026, man. Happy New Year. We made it. It's 2026. And you think I'm finna let you talk to me about talking donkeys and burning bushes, talking and shit? No. Negative. My baby, short shorts. Yeah, man. Shout out to you, Mia. Yeah, man. How do you legitimize Christianity and Islam in 2026? How long are you willing to be held on? Or maybe I'm tripping. You know, maybe I need some correction. But I don't get it and I don't see it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. We have this story of okay, think about this like for real, for real, for real. They said they had a special relationship with the creator of the universe who came down in the flesh as Jesus. Okay, somehow the entity that created the, first of all, what they're telling you is a man created the universe, and then a man got a woman pregnant, and then came down as his own son, and then. But before you even get to that, set up this shit on Earth. Remember the great plan of the garden. And shout out to Core is in the building, man. Shout out to you guys.
Peace.
Understood. Let me make sure my sound on. But yeah, so this big old great plan of this garden that the creator thought of that failed, right? That at the same time telling you that God wrote all of existence from the ending to beginning. So ain't no mistakes. The creator of the universe wrote the story of the Bible from the ending to the beginning, and then inspired men or niggas got possessed or passed out and woke up with writings and stuff. You go ahead and grab some chicken. I'm gonna eat up the phone. You ain't ready? You want smoke fry? You do? I know. Too much ginger ale, huh?
Well, ginger ale.
Too much ginger ale. Okay, I'm about to say get some ginger ale. That's probably the problem. Yeah. So then, now here we go with the whole story of the creation of man, the naming of the animals, and then the story of Babel, and you know it's leaps and bounds in this shit, right? All while proposing, you know, and I guess people have their own ways of coming up with their dates, that the earth is a new creation, 6,000 years old, right? And then it's this whole, the story of Abraham selling his wife to pharaohs, tricking them into sleeping with her, and or almost sleeping with her, and then getting rewarded a whole bunch of gold and giving, I don't even know what the point of it was. But yeah, then there's that. Then there's his sons, his descendants. Then there's the story of Noah where the whole world got flooded. The whole world got flooded, and God told Noah to build a boat. This boat was to house all animals, all of them, male and female, and survive this flood. Get off this boat, repopulate the earth. Now, you know, people are pretty advanced and smart and lying and covering up for the inconsistencies in the Bible, but repopulated the earth. Right? So now everybody's a descendant of Noah. And then here we are, 2026, still trying to give these things legs to walk on. And that's impossible. Like we're too smart for that now. And then we're really sacrificing too much. Like people giving 10% of their money that they don't got, all while living in poverty-stricken areas that don't even got a park, a community center. We had more in the past. Think about that. How do we have less today than we had in the fucking past, man? The Rail is in the building. Shout out to Anu Kakarot and King Naga of the New World Order is in the building. And shout out to the super chats. Checkmate is in the building with a $2 super chat. Shout out to the Time family. God, what's good, guys?
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
Trying to catch a vibe on the conversation, man, so we can get it kicked off of the joint, man.
Yeah, well, this just an introductory conversation, but I just decided to receive some correction from the Christians and the Muslims. And what I'm saying is, how do we still legitimize being a Christian or a Muslim with the with this antiquated doctrine that we caught in a billion lies, a billion inconsistencies that's being in the hands uninterruptedly of the Romans, and the Romans are the people who went around and murdered people to take on their belief. What are we doing? How,
Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah.
Okay, put a little sauce on there. Let me know what's up. We all know Stockholm syndrome is when someone finds a obsession or infinity or whatever it is, interest in the person that's doing them wrong. Slaves fell in love with slave masters. Women fall in love with abusive men. Men fall in love with abusive women. Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, I kind of think that's like what's going on. Basically, is that as at some point we forgot that we was just playing along with them, right? You know what I'm saying? We just playing along with them so they can stop beating us and hanging us and shit like that. And we just start drinking the Kool-Aid and we start believing that shit. We start believing in the American dream and shit. And, you know, that's all it takes. You just get pacified long enough, you'll give up everything.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. Because you would think the systems that show progression, like really think about this. How is none of the Asian religions prominent over here? Like out of all of the holy books, all of like the only religions that caught on are the ones who enslaved people and murdered people. How are you not able to cut that off and say, yeah, we're not going in that direction no more?
Well, I think most of the major religions were warmongering cults at first. All of them was, even the Buddhists.
The Buddhists? Oh, okay. But yeah.
Yeah, you know, Buddha was a warmonger. He was a warmonger before he became the pacifist. He was a warmonger, and he got tired of the killing and all that shit, and he turned, to the Buddha.
Court is in the building, God. What's good, brother? You got something you want to say? Add, question, correct me on anything?
I mean, I'm listening. I ain't really got nothing to add yet. If it's something super crazy, I wanted to say something about something you said, but it slipped my mind that quick. So,
okay. But yeah, basically that's what it is, man. About the doctrines being antiquated, outdated, caught into a million lies, it being in the hands of the Romans uninterruptedly for 1,000 years, while they murdered the people who thought differently than them. So it's like now that we have the power to speak truth to power, why not tell the Vatican to kiss our ass? Why not tell Rome to kiss our fucking ass? The royal family kiss our ass. Why don't we, as a species of people, go into these so-called air quotes sacred buildings and get the truth? The Vatican has 8 miles of a library up on it with artifacts that don't belong to them. Huh. But guess what? They give you the Septuagint, the Vaticanus. They give you the Codex Sinaiticus. No. Open them doors and let us get a peek in there, because you don't own none of that shit. Like, who gave them that authority? I understand about a sword. Go ahead, God.
I was going to say it's a conspiracy theory that their library, the Vatican Library, hasn't been fully accounted for. It's fully accounted for. Scholars, if anybody, have direct access to most of the Vatican library, but everything in the library is accounted for.
So there's like an itemized list of everything that's in the Vatican library?
Yeah, the Vatican library has that itemized list, but I'm saying everything's been or being translated today that's there. it's not a. I don't think we need to suggest conspiracy theories like that, or even um, like with Christianity being a Roman system. I don't even see that happening either, because if we judge in Christianity, at least we have to judge it in light of its origin, in light of its initial growth, and its primary mode of growth throughout the ages. It wasn't governmental situations. In fact, it was not allowed to be a recognized religion amongst the Roman government for the first 300 years. Um, we got to wait till right before the Council of Nicaea before it's a illicit or a legal religion. And then by then there was already over 1 million Christians in Roman Empire that were getting persecuted still to some extent by the state. And even at the Council of Nicaea, many of the church fathers that was present had war wounds. Like they had injuries from the last phase of persecution under Constantine. So I wouldn't necessarily say some of the things you said. I'm gonna leave it right there. I ain't trying to hog the mic in that note.
Understood. I appreciate your input, God. Its origin, I wish I could. I wish I could just hold it up, but no, it's what it is today. Like the origin is gone. Any link to the origin is gone. What we now have are claimed translations of original script. Or oral shit is your hit on anything being passed down orally, especially when the people got dumbed down. Languages got changed. Certain languages were outlawed. Certain scriptures in certain languages were outlawed. Certain scriptures were outlawed. And we're talking about a long time. Just thinking about like let me see. Who was that? Who just?
You mean like the Jews that said there were certain books, like during the rabbinical period, they said there were certain books that defiled the hands?
That defiled their hands?
Yeah.
I never heard that type of vernacular. Who said that shit? Yeah.
Rabbinical Jews did. They don't give a list of the texts that quote unquote do this, but many scholars suggest it's probably biblical, like New Testament collective literature. Because it was leading the people astray. Jesus was a Menim in Hebrew or Aramaic. And Menim in that setting means like a heretic. So like, if you're reading the literature of a heretic, it's not orthodox. It's not good literature. It will defile your hands in your reading of it.
No, okay, understood. But yeah, okay. So should we? And this might be a dumb question. Should we trust the Romans
As it relates to what?
as it relates to their transparency of the origin of these scripts and the validity of these scripts?
Well, for the New Testament, I think you should, because it wasn't just Roman script or type. Like it's common Greek. It's not technically Attic Greek that would have been used by the Roman elite. Like it's a lot more dumbed down. It's a lot more influences from, at least in the New Testament, the Semitic culture. There's a lot of Aramaisms or Aramaic statements, words, phrases that are transliterated into Greek that are really not Greek words.
Mm-hmm.
Suggesting a non-Greek, non-Greco-Roman culture as the source for the information. They may have lived in a Greco-Roman environment, And I think that's what the archaeological evidence and the literary evidence suggest. But um, yeah, they weren't Greeks. They like maybe Luke. Luke might have just been an educated individual, but Luke may have also been Greek or non-Jewish. But yeah, very few New Testament literatures are non-Jewish.
Okay, so, but did you get the gist of my argument though, right? Like
Yeah,
this
I got you.
should be shut down, right? Like we need to stop playing. like we could do the things we do as Christians and Muslims that are productive outside of Christianity and Islam. But the things that conflict are unique to Islam and Christianity. So it's like loving your mother and being grateful and not wanting other people's shit, even though you are supposed to be like God and God is jealous, so all men is supposed to be jealous at some point in time. But like all of those things are found outside of these religious cultures. But the things that come uniquely with these cultures is the belief in the Yahweh. Well, not the Yahweh, but belief in that God with those characteristics, certain events, certain immoral stances, and control over people. All of that stuff is like the Bible introduced that. The Bible introduced that. The Bible compiled that and delivered that in that manner, as far as I know. But outside of the Bible, without the Bible and without the Quran, cultures still have kindness, politeness, forgiveness, not being greedy, not being wicked, not killing, not raping. Like we still have those things outside the Bible. So when people like Jesse say, well, you don't have a moral book, I don't need a moral book. And the fact that you need a book is like how are you impressed with that? Like needing a book is like needing a constant reminder to not like be the worst person in fucking earth. What's making you want to be the worst person on fucking earth? What makes a killer want to kill? And then when I read a lot of the times when people kill, it's due to some belief, some religious belief that trickles down to their ideology politically or socially. But it stems from that God. In every neighborhood that I lived in, and this may be just, I guess, being petty or facetious, but the Christians are the most violent motherfuckers around. It's the same people that'll tell you God bless you, that's walking around this motherfucker controlling the drug flow, hoarding all the guns, bumping into each other at the gas station and liquor store and getting into it. Can't throw a house party no more.
They all Christians.
Christians.
The KKK was Christians too.
So how are these religions not proven to be antiquated, outdated? We need a revision of man's spirituality. Like we need to come back to the table. Okay, we survived that period. Here we are. What happened, good and bad. Now let's not let the bad happen again because we just didn't tell the kids, oh, that was bullshit.
Or have you read anything from Sam Harris?
Sam Harris, yeah, I read too. No, I do not know who Sam Harris is. Who's Sam Harris?
That boy just flip flop like John Kerry, boy. I swear, oh, baby, you funny as ever. Yeah, I read two of his. No, I don't know that fool. What?
Sam Harris. Googling him though.
All right, so like in the early 2010s, 2015s, you had Daniel Dennett, Sam Harris.
The American author, philosopher, and neuroscience.
Yeah, he's a neuroscientist, philosopher. Yeah.
Wow.
You also had Richard Dawkins and Christopher. What was his name? Hitchens. Chris. Yeah.
Higgins. Is it Higgins? Or Higgins?
No, not Higgins.
Who is Christopher Higgins? Never mind.
Hitchens. Higgins, Ray. You confusing Ray Higgins' name, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, they was online. The white boys in Europe and in America going around doing their little tours about there is no God, there's a God delusion. This is just the titles of some of their books, the Moral Compass. But I would say that, well, you could read moral philosophy, ethical philosophy. Really, you read any of them, there's bound to be some stuff you like and stuff you dislike with all of them. So, just following one or following a few of them, looking at how they interact with each other, you're bound to find a lot of the things that you're talking about, where we back at a drawing board without the God equation. Why do we need a book? I think the book language might just be metaphorical in some senses. You got to remember, even for Muslim, they Quran is not really the physical document. Their Quran is an auditory, repeated message.
Yes.
So, it's more than a physical text when we talking about a book or the message or the way. It's it's a little more complicated than that. Both Jews and Christians and Muslims. So, for example, I think there was a law before Moses. I think Abraham had a law. I think Adam and Eve had a law. So there was a law before Moses, but I'm not talking about a document or a text that was standardized for a nation to have and establish their civil conduct with each other and with their neighbors. Because that's what I really see the function of the law being in the Bible. Some of that's going on with the Quran, but it's a little more differences. It's different. The law is not intended to be something to remove relationships. It's something that's supposed to improve relationships, if you ask me. So why do we need a book of law? For consistency, for progression, for growth. I'm with you too, because when I think about serial killers, the times I've been completely out of it and did a whole lot of stuff I regret to some extent. I think, man, what made me do that? Religious convictions or not, what would have made me do that? Mm-hmm. Now, when I think outside of my religious convictions, I think, man, I tried to do woo to my brother because I played Mortal Kombat last night, and the way Liu Kang flew across the screen did look cold, so I tried it on him when he came in the crib. Or whatever. But now, if I'm taking out the God idea, what's really causing the serial killer actions? Could it be a movie? Or is it outside of what they observing and everything? Is it just simply their biological makeup? Is their brain telling them to do this and they don't have no control over their brain or their actions? That free will thing that I think y'all was talking about earlier in the chat, I think it was you, Suave. The free will thing can sort of also apply to the scientific situation or the physical situation alone, just as it relates to biological determinism, where you only think and react the way you do because of the way your biology determined it to be. Not because you can think outside the box and sort of take control and actually make a decision between action A or non-A or action B or non-B.
Understood. But And that's a conversation we could go into because I do get that. I do get some type of predisposition to just play out the character you genetically are. I get that. And that's where I can even see that verbiage going into the Bible. Because despite your genetics, you have free will. I can see that. Despite everyone in my fucking family being an alcoholic, I can see that and choose not to drink. I can know that genetically I'm set up to be a drinker and say I'm not drinking. So I can even see that. But as far as the way that the Bible describes free will, that's impossible. You can have free will the way that the Bible describes it. But yeah, I can even see that. It's so much stuff. I know that they don't know what they're talking about a lot of the time. Well, I know that DNA hasn't been 100% figured out. The brain, the liver, the pain, like life hasn't been 100% figured out. And so the impact of those things on who you are, like I could get it. Memories from ancestors of shit that they went through. That's something that they say is passed down genetically. Like you say, predisposition to certain habits, thought patterns, are passed down. But at the end of the day, the Bible and in God shouldn't be greater than that. It shouldn't be. And I hate to drive it to God, but this is what the Biblicists and the Quranists are saying. It's like this is what they're describing their life is. So how does genetic disposition outweigh God or Allah? How do it despite, and then the way that I see it, a lot of the world has had wow, that might be a debate. Do you think the world has been more kind to each other or unkind to each other? That could be a conversation because I believe the world is, despite what we see today, that the world has been very kind to each other. People did not always go around and declare war on each other and murder each other and shit like that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So what does this first jump down from? But yeah, as far as that, I just don't see. Even then, if the Bible is failing, if the Quran is failing, if these religions are failing to address these things and stop these things, if the wars of the world are between the religious people, if the murders of the community come from religious people, like when are we gonna check ourselves? When are we gonna be real and say, despite my sentimental connection to what my grandmother believed, what my father believed, what I came into, despite how smart it make me sound to be able to quote every word, every verse in the Bible, word for word, this is bullshit. And I'm ready for something real. I'm ready for something solid that you can build on. Especially when you see how the institution and the groups, the organizations, and the powers that control religion that get to come out to a window and declare something to you, and it goes down, it becomes canon, it becomes law. Especially when people are in direct contrast to what life is. Like we're looking past a whole conflict right here in our face and then picking on other motherfuckers. If we should have questions, if we have concerns with anybody, it should be the leaders of religion. I wouldn't even put it on the political leaders. Because then, even when you look at it, the political leaders, they run back to the religious leaders. Y'all hit the like button, man. Don't make me play no advertisement, man. Send a cash out, man. $ Titans Debate League. Send a super chat. Let YouTube get a little bit of money because YouTube get a little bit of money off your comments. He fell off the roof and died. you get put in the algorithm. We get a little bit more airtime around here, and that's the point, man. Because at the end of the day, we want y'all to be here to watch these debates that we are studying and working to put together for y'all, man. Like we really fuck with y'all. Fuck with us. Hit that like button and send a super chat, man. That's just it. Like $1 a day is $30.
Hold on, what happened?
Like A1 could pay for the StreamYard from the chat. That would be beautiful. Yeah, so the conversation is, man, how does Christianity and Islam still have legs in 2026? Y'all just made it to 2026. Rest in peace to those who didn't. But we are in 2026. How do we still give Christianity and Islam, the Christians, the Muslims, how do we still give them so much credibility like they know what they talking about after all of the conflicts, getting caught up a billion times, us getting smarter as people, us having more archaeological proof of history, us uncovering stuff, the great lack. Like, you got the people on the earth that's telling the most boldest story in the world, bringing you shrapnels of paper, little silver scrolls and shit. Like, man, y'all supposed to be everywhere. Like, just think, 2,000 years from now, there'll be more proof of fucking Tupac than there is Jesus. And if Jesus is supposed to be real, that shouldn't be true. Jesus never wrote a book, not one book. Jesus didn't write one book.
2026, we're not doing it.
Jesus is supposed to be God in the flesh. Never wrote a book. But somehow the Bible is the word of God. No, it's not. It's the word of man.
No.
How did Romans make it to the Bible? How you ain't got one book of Khufu, Zulu, Khufu? Like, how is that not one African book? Tribal African, black African, melanated African, us African.
What do you understand? What do you understand the Egyptians as then?
What book of the Bible did the Egyptians write?
No, I'm just asking. You just said we don't have no African books, so what do you understand Egyptian or Nubian literature?
No, I'm saying, how did no African books make it to the Bible?
Figure it out.
How do you have Roman and Titus and stuff like that in the Bible, but no African books made it to the Bible?
Deal with.
That's what I'm saying. I know we got African books outside of the Bible, but how none of them made? Like, come on, man. All of this stuff we deciphering and all of that, none of that shit made it there. All of these science that we had, just think about it. Look at the walls of Kemet. They have, look at the books, the writings. They have medical papyrus, didn't make it to the Bible. The pyramids itself didn't make it to the Bible. We have all of these studies on life and death, and none of it made it to the Bible. We got people sitting up here telling you a serpent talked to man. Like, come on, man. How dumb are you willing to be, and how long are you willing to be? Like, I understand my grandmother, she really couldn't read. She just went to church and got read to, preached to. I understand my grandfather. He couldn't read. He had to go to school and work at 12. I get that. But you all are the most resourceful motherfuckers in a long time. And for some reason, we still have people sitting up here saying, yes, the Bible is the true, living word, breathing word of God. A motherfucker told me the Bible is the true, living, breathing word of God. Nothing. Now we talking about a book. Like I said, these people make the boldest claims. These aren't small claims. These are not small claims. We're talking about a group of people who said they had a relationship with the creator of the earth that gave it privileges, looked out for it, gave it instructions on taking land, protecting them from it. They was disobedient. They were enslaved in Egypt. Man, an Israelite should be able to walk right up to something and say, "This is us. That's us." Just like everybody else. Come on, nigga. The Chinese man can walk up to the goddamn walls of Kemet and say, "Nigga, this us. That's us." And it matches our history. The Asians wrote about the Nile. The Asians wrote about the pyramids. The Asians wrote about the Sphinx. Yes, we got to do better than this. Especially black men who are expecting black women to submit or partner up with them. And it ain't like I don't hold my women accountable, because y'all are the ones who are propping up the damn church. But if you can't believe in the physical, man, sometimes it just makes more sense to believe in the spiritual. I'm not a woman. I don't have the mind of a woman, and I can't explain that. But what I'll tell you is that us as black men need to do something. Our verbiage needs to change. Our style of building needs to change. Structure and conversations need to change. Like, I love debating. I love this debating shit. But, you know, like when we having everyday conversations, I'm going to shut the fuck up and listen to you talk. And I expect for you to do the same. That's just it.
So you saying the Israelites don't have no structures they can go to and say, this is us. This is part of our history that they wrote about.
Not one. What they're going to do is show you stuff outside the Bible from people who claim that they study Israelite history, and the Israelites roll fringes. Here's some fringes. That's us. No.
What about the altar at Mount Ebal?
The altar?
Yes.
Does the Bible speak of this altar?
Yes, it does. Moses talks about when you enter into the land of Canaan, the land of milk and honey, you're going to build an altar. And in Joshua, once they get to Mount Ebal, they build the altar. The altar has been found, excavated by Adam Zertal. And he identified it as Joshua's altar.
Who identified it?
Adam Zertal, an archaeologist.
Why?
The features and the location and the time period, the short time period of brief occupation.
Okay, I could check it out. I'm 1,000% sure it's bullshit. Let
me tell you the main reason why. So the main reason why they identify it as an Israelite site is if you're a fan of Israel Finkelstein says we can, I repeat, CAN, we can identify Israelite sites if the dietary habits at the site lack pig. If there's a pig taboo around this time period, it's probably an Israelite site. That site has pig taboo. So according to Finkelstein, he lumps it up to early Israelite settlements in Canaan.
These people didn't eat no pig.
Yes. Which is unique for everybody else in Canaan.
Nobody in the land of Canaan, as big as the land of Canaan was, no other clique of people said, "I'm not eating a pig."
No. Then in the early Israelite settlements, there's less than 0.5% of pig at all of the sites. And
that's a crazy claim that nobody else other than Israelites chose not to eat pig.
Well, outside of the Egyptians to the south.
So the Egyptians also didn't eat pig.
Yes, they have a very long history of being.
Okay, so what is we talking about? You know, the Egyptians like ruled the land of Canaan.
It's not
all the way up to the Levant.
Not quite.
It's not universal. It's not universal. It depends on the site that they're excavating. Some sites aren't always disposed of pig bones. There's a limit. There's a strata of sites that have less pig bones than other sites. So it's not completely deserted of pig bones. It's just less activity, and it's more,
Exactly.
and
Like
it's more,
Shiloh.
and we can accredit it to Israelites having this anti-pig thing, or there's also other ways to view it, more of agricultural ways, more of more social ways that scholars view why the lack of, like he just mentioned, like he just mentioned, Finkelstein. He was one of the first who did the primary research on a stratigraphic, like their diet, pig bones, what these sites actually ate. Like Philistine sites have more pig bones because that was their primary food source, their meat source. Some more West Semitic sites more in like Hatzor. They have lesser pig bones, but they don't have no pig bones. It's just less.
And that's
Yes,
what I was
and
saying.
it depends on the stratigraphy, but we're talking about the transitional period, blooming into the first Iron Age. From the late Bronze to the early Iron, Mount Ebal has its earliest occupation in 1250 to about 1200, and then it picks up again for another estimated 50 years, about 50 years after that. So for two very brief periods of occupation, but it's not merely that. That's why I said if you're a fan of Finkelstein, that's one point of evidence. Another point of evidence is that it's an Israelite site is because of the four-room house. So these two features in conjunction often suggest certain things, and that's one of the things they suggest, that it's an Israelite occupation.
Remember, also four-room houses are not distinctively Israelite.
Well, that's
William G. Dever and Finkelstein both says this. These are not distinctively Israelite architecture.
Finkelstein does say that. Dever is a little more nuanced when he makes his statements, but he says that it does seem to be an Israelite housing structure. Finkelstein, Dever does. And hold on. And I would also suggest more updated reading on these things, such as Avram Frost.
I have, yeah, Abraham Frost. I've read his.
Because
what do they date it to? What do they date it to? What do they date it to?
To the initial site occupation period, the four-room house at Mount Ebal. So 1250.
No, I don't know. Oh, okay.
1250 to 1200. That's the earliest strata of occupation.
BC.
Yes.
Mount Ebal, that temple, altar, that biblical, what they
call it, site
at Mount Ebal.
So they found
it's not conclusively an Israelite structure. It's not conclusively an Israelite.
I didn't say the structure was Israelite. I'm saying that the excavated remains are highly suggestive of an Israelite occupation in both layers and stratigraphy levels of the site.
Right, but how they identified it as an Israelite is through material culture, and as I said, the material culture is not distinctively Israelite. So
that's
it is
not according to Finkelstein and Dever. Both say Mount Ebal is an Israelite occupational site.
I would have to see that.
Well, Finkelstein said it in his article from '96. Finkelstein said it in the. Yeah, there's a lot of other archaeologists, such as that also would agree. Aaron Meyer, Ami Mazar agrees, and Ami Mazar doesn't agree that. Well, and just as it relates to either of these assessments of pig or housing structures, the housing structure thing just blossoms into a unified collection once the Israelite settlements blossom in the Judean foothills and such. So, and it's pretty unified. That's why Avram Frost is really interesting to read on the four-room house stuff.
Yeah, I've read it. But
Dever also. Hold on, Mike.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, my bad. Everybody in the house hit the like button. Please share it to your platform if you have one. Please. This is the Tyson Debate League Coliseum audience. Takari, Dawson, shout out to you, man. Let's debate. I mean, because that's what I do. So I mean, I want you to join yourself in the chat. No pressure to join the panel. But if you can make a definite statement like that to a Titan, then you definitely can tighten up and come into the Coliseum and defend yourself from that. To say that there is no proof of being African, I can't take you serious. But most days, for some reason, that people who that make a name you can't take serious. They like it's always this. You have to utilize this amount of unseriousness to even end up, being talked about. So shout out to you, Takari. Come through. You can hit the panel. You can get up here. We can talk about it. But you definitely not gonna sit in the chat and tell Swab Boss there's no proof of being African. Shout out to Ricard World. Okay, go back. Go ahead, guy. I hope I didn't make you lose your point.
Hey, just to let you know, Suave, I didn't know if it was me. It sounded like your mic was glitching a little bit.
Okay, bet. That's it. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna restart my computer. Y'all can hold it down for me. Y'all can keep the conversation.
But yeah, there's an abundance of scholars. Aaron Meyer, Abram Frost, he's a scholar. Just about every modern Bar Ilan University scholar I know, Tel Aviv University.
Well, I mean,
everybody I know says, yeah, Ami Mazar.
Mazar
agree. Yeah,
Mazar agree. He and Zertal, I forget his first name. The person who identified
Adam.
Adam Zertal, who identified the altar. Mazar, he said he may be wrong in his interpretation of the temple. So I don't
I'm glad he's a good scholar. Now, and Adams, I don't have a problem with that. That's a good scholarship to articulate your findings according to your best assessment at the time, and say that, hey, you know what, guys, I might be wrong on certain things, or I might be wrong on that in the fifth.
I got you.
So I think that's good scholarship. Zertal also said, like, around Mount Ebal, you had these what looked like footprints.
Yeah.
All the way up going towards Israel or something like this. But a lot of scholars doubt that was, but they haven't been excavated. It is in hot territory.
Yeah, I think it's like around the Jordan Valley, like about. It's a tough place to excavate.
Right.
Yeah. No, absolutely, I agree.
For people that want to read a pretty good book on some of these issues that will give you more than enough introductory level literature on these issues, I would suggest taking and he's also a specialist of Mount Ebal. I just thought about it. Ralph K. Hawkins, How Israel Became a People.
Yeah.
Great work. And also pick up his Mount Ebal dissertation, because he was one of the last few understudies of Zertal, and he also has access currently to all of the excavated remains, and even what the ABR found with the little curse amulet. It's not an amulet, probably a fisher's weight, in their wet sifting project. So he has access to all of it. He's a really interesting scholar.
Yeah,
but
he has I think he has a paper reviewing Adam's work, and I think it's on a biblical archaeology website. Like you said, if anybody want to check it out.
Yeah, actually, that, and you can check out Adam Tatal's initial publication from Biblical Archaeology Review too, because he did his Mountie Ball Dig publication there.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially it was a lot of disputes and debates over if it's a cultic site or not. Those debates sort of have dwindled down
Hmm.
a lot. But yeah, at least according to those two features, the 4-room house and the no pig, a lot of scholars are willing to affirm that that's an early Israelite, proto-Israelite settlement.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I find myself teaching, I guess, the controversy as well. You know, but I definitely agree. It may absolutely be Israelite site, and just honestly, just the lack of pig bones things always captivate me. So
I mean, the lack of the pig taboo is ironically
yeah,
novel
yeah,
right there at that transitional period for the early Iron Age from the late Bronze Age. So right there, it's a novel intervention. You know, you can read some Biblical Archaeology Review articles that talk about, well, these people that came in to what we know as Israel, they possibly came not from Canaan, from the west. They possibly came from the east, from the Transjordan area.
I think that may not be Abraham Falls' position, but I think he does subscribe to a more like infiltration model type. That's, you know, development for ancient Israel.
His view to me is a little different because he says like the primary collection of the early Israelite settlements would have been Canaanites.
Yeah, but that's also what Deaver, Finkelstein.
Everybody says it's a mixed
Kelly
population.
says.
The Bible
Yeah.
says it's a mixed multitude. But he
Yeah.
also says, but he also thinks that there was an Exodus group. And I think that the Exodus group, and when he says he thinks it's an Exodus group, to me, I gotta go. Well, I'm thinking a video, so I don't know his actual source for that. But I feel like he might be referencing something like a Richard Friedman's thesis of the Levites.
Yeah. There's a book by I forget her name, but it's called Biblical Peoples and Ethnicity, and she pretty much said what in my opinion, is the consensus on Israel ethnogenesis, and she goes through a lot in describing the material culture and how, you know, archaeologists, you know, dating and everything, and she has her idea of a small group, Exodus group, and I think Finkelstein, I think Deaver, I think Mazar, I think Silverman, I think they all kind of give like small Exodus group maybe like a chance, you know, in the historical analysis. And, yeah,
I don't think Deaver. Well, Deaver really doesn't deal with Exodus.
not
Finkelstein
really.
says that it's, and neither really does Mazar. But but Finkelstein, he says, you know, the whole Exodus tradition is a parody, basically, of King Josiah or something like that. And he has this big Deuteronistic dating situation for it. So it's weird. I don't agree with him. He'll even make a big fuss over what the overwhelming majority of scholars think is an 11th, 12th century BCE document called the Song of Deborah and the Song of Moses.
Yeah.
And, you know, and he post-dates it all the way up to 6th, 7th century BC. So 600-year gap, 500-year gap, he's doing all of this. And I think it's unnecessary, but yeah. And all because he says things like, "Oh, I'm trying to be physical with my dad. I'm trying to have a physical history. Some of that stuff to me is a farce. You can't really have physical history in a history that's primarily redone by means of literature.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
Ain't no motherfucking Israelites 1200 BCE, man. I'm not going, dog. Shout out to the world, man, but nah.
You mean like the original IUIC or something like that?
Man, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Fuck it. Why not?
What we gonna call them? The Maccabees?
I wouldn't know. I would just say, you know, the thieves of legacies. It's like motherfucker just take everything, all the credit that's to be taken. Somebody built the toaster, Israelite did it. So it's just like in the past, it's just like a lot of the things that got popular and got partially world renowned would just get swept up by the people who was winning at that time. Yeah, your story is not our story. We never took a loss, this, that, and the other. And so it gets to this place where the Bible gets credibility because they say, but they write about their losses. Like I could get that working in antiquated times. Like, and I know that motherfuckers, if you give a motherfucker enough chance to lie, they become good at lying.
Yeah.
They become good at lying, And I mean, that's why you got to kill shit quick. Because motherfuckers start having you question yourself like, damn, yeah, nah, I ain't going. I'm not going. That's just it. Motherfuckers is great liars, man. And then look at the funding behind it. It's like because mainstream archaeology already knows this is what it seems like. It's like they know this shit is true. So they purposely allow for biblical terms, biblical narratives to be so easily just added to archaeology, to history. Like, nah, man.
Yeah, I respect it.
That shit shouldn't get no pass, man. That shit should not get no pass. And then you know it because when you look at that same institution, when they deal with the Asians, they don't play that game. They don't play that game. They don't act like their origin story has validity and this might be the sign of the great fish that pulled the boat. Like, they don't do none of that shit. But when it comes to the Abrahamic shit, they're like, oh yeah, this might be the tomb of Abraham. Bitch, how? And you ain't found a shoe of Abraham. How you get a tomb? And nothing else. And we talking about we here. You been here. Look at the Romans. Y'all been here. This is all you got? You've been here. You were the people who openly hoarded other people's stuff. You don't got none of it? It burnt down in the library and you can't even show us a pile of ashes. Like, come on, man. We gotta be smarter than this, man. We gotta be smarter than this. I could justify motherfucking goddamn Popeye's chicken more than you could justify goddamn Christianity and Islam. Even though they both killing us. Man. So I just be wanting that, you know what I'm saying, to like evolve and see how people really shake religion, really shake the bad parts of it and how to incorporate the good into a system that's their own, that they came up with for themselves. Because I mean that's virtually, I mean, that's all there is here. You are you, everyone else is them. The people you have a like mind with, you kind of prefer to be around. The people who don't, you don't. You know, unless it's a stage of conflict. So yeah, I don't need to be around someone who says, well, you know, pork ain't supposed to be eaten by humans or whatever. And my whole religion is around a pig. Because when my people were starving, the only animal around was a pig. And so we gotta give honor to the pigs whose life we had to take for us to live on. And then here you come trying to declare war on us because you need an enemy. Y'all disagree with me, let's go to war. Like, that shit's crazy, man. Look at Israel and look at Palestine. Do y'all know that that's biblical?
Blow that bitch in your face.
That's biblical.
That bitch in your face.
That's the only reason why that shit is getting overlooked. You had the United States take a group of so-called Jews from out of so-called Germany and put them in the so-called Palestinian land against their will. They had other places they wanted to go.
Yeah.
And then within a generation, the whole landscape flips. Well, now most of it is Israel and Palestine has a small strip in one generation. Someone was alive when Palestine was Palestine, and before they died, Palestine was Israel. And Israel and the Palestinians were a group of bad people that just for some reason just keep attacking Israel. Who is letting this blatant illusion, this lie and narrative go on? And why? So if you got all of this power, all of this military enforcement, all of these institutions, all of this funding, all of these celebrities, and you ain't got shit, you still trying to draw similarities? Yeah, man, the gig is up, man. Get your tithes back. Get your tithes back, and you know, just disconnect bean pies from Islam because they good. But Islam just have a monopoly on bean pies. You can't even buy bean pie without a motherfucker calling your ass
You stupid.
a Muslim. So, you know, keep your bean pies, give back to Quran. Christians, keep your tithes, give back the Bible. Black people, disconnect. Disconnect. Let's do it, man. Unplug yourself from the matrix.
I feel you, Swab.
We're live out here. It's not as pretty as your illusion, but at least it's real. You know, we ain't got no Creflo dollars or nothing, but at least it's real. Yeah, God. V-Note the most. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tanjan. Shout out to you. So I don't want to deal with the Israelites neither because the Israelites believe that women's seed in their body is dead and it just takes 2 sperms to make a baby. Or what proof do you have? Yeah, I mean, and that's that. It's the over, like, the blatant male chauvinistic of the scriptures, where you got to dig and scratch to find some woman who did some good somewhere, sometime, a little bit, almost kind of. If you squint your eyes and tilt your head to the side, it's like, no, where's God's wife, nigga? Where's God? And that's what I was thinking about earlier. That shit was so funny. God made man and woman. God made male and female animals. But when it came to Adam, he put this nigga in a garden by himself. And then when Adam sacrificed a rib to get a woman, this nigga God set up. This nigga God said it. This nigga was hating on Adam because he had a girl. I'm gonna send this serpent to get her. He gonna see why I put him in this garden by himself. It's just me and you, Adam. It's me and you, Adam. All you need is me. And all I need is you. And then Adam was like, yeah, I ain't with that gay shit. I need a woman. I'm like, oh, okay. You're going to regret this, Adam. Like, that's some crazy shit, man. That grown-ass people just sitting back and believing. What was wrong with Adam having a wife from the beginning? What was wrong? Because we already know it took a man and a woman to procreate. So before God made Eve for Adam, there was no pain for labor, but there was labor.
There's some shit that show bad.
Man and woman were making people. It's according to the biblical narrative, man. This is just another way to say, man, yeah, that shit don't make no sense, man. I'm giving my grandma back her book.
There you go.
I'm keeping the pie, grandmama. I'm giving you the Bible back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. Just don't be that same handicap for your children. Allow your children to actually have a chance of being intellectually healthy, competitive, above average. You know, too many of our people are just screaming and shouting in these goddamn buildings and then going back home to ignorance, to poverty, to illness, physically and mental, abuse, psychologically and physical. Like, that's crazy, man. We're gonna have to do better than this, dog. We're gonna have to do better than this. And then we got the easy part. All we gotta do is talk the shit. This is the part where you just talk the shit and get the people that believe you to concentrate their numbers. By the time we get to the point where we gotta pull a gun out, you might be dead of old age, healthy. But right now is the time where we talk our shit, collect those numbers of people that see what we saying, get some land, and concentrate our numbers. Homeschool, work from home, as much as possible. As much as possible. Start participating in American culture and start creating our culture that puts our children in a position that when that spirit comes into that body and that body come out that womb, it comes into reality, into this realm with its own land, a family structure, a family business. You can start them from your phone now. You can literally start a business from your phone. Like, come on, man. Let's do better. Let's do better, man. The church songs ain't getting no colder, man. They didn't already, you know, I guess that's the only part of church, you know, the religion. And yeah, church music is dead. I ain't heard it. Like they say, hip hop is dead. Church music is dead. I ain't heard, you know, the top next song that I was like, damn, that shit cold. Yeah, man. We gotta get our hands up out our pocket and just stand in here. Get your hands out your pocket and do something, man. So that's my thought on it, man. Hey, I just cannot wrap my mind around the reason why Christianity is still so powerful. And I'm not, and I can understand it at a certain scale because of the money and all of this, but I'm talking about between us, because the Vatican ain't paying you shit. You not getting no benefits from being a Christian, from being a Muslim. You making all the sacrifices for the people at the top for it to be worth it for them. Only reason they talking this shit is because they getting paid, they getting security. They get to have a structure to call a home. It's impressive. Their wife like it, and she bears them kids. Like, I could see that. But I guarantee you, if it was up to them to fund Christianity and Islam, they'd be atheists. They'd be talking about ain't no God. If if God wasn't blessing them so much through your pockets, if God had to figure out another way to let them cup overflow, them niggas would be kicking that goddamn Bible across the room. We know this now. We know these things. It's 2026. We know these things now. New year, new you. New religion, man.
No religion.
Well, I think that's well, okay. The reason why I don't have a problem with religion, because to me, unless you're an atheist, you do believe that there's something greater. To me, there is a creation. A creation happened. Therefore, there's a creator. I don't have any details. All I know is that all people come from vaginas. Something had to create the first vagina. Creator. Okay? So not trying to draw any conclusions. What I'm saying is that any traditions or habits that you form out of that philosophy, thinking, what is the creator? That's your religion. Like a religion is just a pattern of actions and traditions that are based around your belief in a higher power. You know, don't mean you have to have a diet. Don't mean you have to have a dress code. Don't mean you have to declare war on the Canaanites. You know, so I don't let them burn up every word with me. That's like I don't know, unless I have a misunderstanding. It's just like the word coat. Like now, coat is a bad thing. So religion is a bad thing. Like, no. You're shit. I sent you an invitation to the party. You don't see it? An hour ago. All right, jump in it. Man, I just don't see I don't see how you legitimize this any longer. I don't see how you justify this any longer. I don't. Christians, give us a break. Calm down. Muslims, please remove yourself from the conversation completely. You've been caught. Let me see.
These are not just speakers. These are thinkers, forged in fire. Warriors of words stepping into destiny. Welcome to the Coliseum of arguments, where logic clashes with conviction and ideas spill like blood in the sand. 16 titans, 16 minds, one path to immortality. They come seeking truth, they fight for redemption, they burn for revenge. Featuring the intellectual elite of the Titans Debate League. Every round a new war, every word a new weapon. Every titan ready to fall or rise in glory. This is not debate, this is combat. Step into the Coliseum of arguments. Only the brave speak here. Are you not entertained?
All right, man. Hold on, y'all. Yep.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. All right, yeah, man. I'm gonna leave y'all alone, man. Shout out to Court for coming through, man. Shout out to Larell for coming through. Shout out to Naga for coming through. Shout out for the brother Ben coming through. And I think that's it. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. Shout out to everybody who came through here, man, and hit that like button. Shout out to Sheckman for holding down the chat and sending the super chat. That's the first super chat I seen. Shout out to everybody who came through and commented. We know the most Car World, Tanjan, Korshak, Mad. Takari was in the building earlier talking shit and then ran as soon as I said something about the bait. Shout out to Body Artist 999 and Nobody, Mr. Ducks, Mr. No Ducks himself. Shout out to The Bra and Mickey Dub, man. I believe that was it, man. Thank y'all for coming through and fuck with the boy. Listen to what the hell I gotta say in my little corner, the armpit of the world, man. Them keys to the Rover has been officially duplicated, and few people got a key. So hopefully we start seeing people going more live more often. I got a key, so I definitely will be going to the gas station on y'all ass every now and then, busting the move, man. So thank y'all for riding with me, man. Titans up, man. Subscribe to all of the debate leagues in this corner of the world, man. Shout out to the debate league, man. Shout out to the Titans debate league. Shout out to all the other debate leagues that are out of the loop on. But yeah, man, let's bring intellectualism a little closer to home, man. Put your Bibles down, keep your ties. Put your Quran down, keep your bean pass. And this the boy Swab Boss, man. Black Power, keep your head up so y'all can see the bullshit coming. Keep your head on the swivel, and may you progress in lanes in which you got a passion, because work is work, but it ain't got to be torture, man. It's the boy Swab Boss. Love yourself and everybody else, man. Black Power, I'm gone.